shoot, I said that you claim it. It's that Xbox, spin the block, his legs slide. Fast talker, no riddling, moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That much make it a portrait. Gun kick back, not grannies from porches. David on the scene, you know that it's scorching. What's the man with king? No response to the saying, advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game and shoot, what said that you claim?
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted. This what you wanted, huh?
Peace and blessings, and welcome back to Xbox Frontline News with your boy, the King. On the eve of Gamescom, which is tomorrow, it's going to be dope. Attic and I will be doing a live reaction to what's going on at Gamescom, all the stuff that's going to be announced, all the rumors will be talked about, all the jank and stank that's happening in the world. But most importantly, to celebrate games as a whole. So not even to hold you up today, we got to get into these topics. This is some incredible stuff. And everybody that watched ILP yesterday, Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if you didn't see it, go check it out. It was a classic. We had a ball. Final Fantasy 16 for the PC launches September 17th. That's good news to know for all PC owners. The PC version of Final Fantasy 17 will launch via Steam and Epic Store on September 17 for $49.99. Square Enix announced a complete edition, including the base game and the downloadable context. Echoes of the Falling and Rising Tide will also be available for $69. A demo featuring the open section of the game is available right now, and save data can be carried over to the full game. It's a really good game. I've played it. I like the stuff that's in it. This is something that should have been launched on the PC day and date. I don't know what the pipeline look like over there, but you know, something that we can talk about as far as this game goes. And what can only mean more breadcrumbs for the Xbox fan base. Final Fantasy 16 director says he'll like to see the game on Xbox. It's been announced that it's coming to PC on the 17th, but there's still no sign of the Xbox release. As things stand, Windows Central talked to the director, Hiroshi Tataki, earlier today, who advised the following. We're taking one thing at a time right now, so I can't reveal anything about our future plans. All I can say is something I would personally like to see happen. These things are really cool to hear that the directors and the people over at Square would like to see these games released on the Xbox platform. Let's jump right into it. Final Fantasy 16 launches for the PC on September 17th. Now, they spoke to the director, and the director would love the game on Xbox. I would love the game on Xbox. I've purchased it on PlayStation. I don't have any need for the PC version, but I would support it on the Xbox platform. I thought the game highlighted what we always thought about Final Fantasy from 7 on, like with the summonses and stuff like that. They got these things called dominants, and you know they carry summonses which in them to an extent. The game is different in terms of a Final Fantasy game. It's not the same kind of Final Fantasy games a lot of people are used to. So you have other people that don't like it because of that. You have other people that do like it because of that. I'm a turn-based RPG type of guy. I like turn-based, preferably, but this is more action, like Devil May Cry type of thing that appealed to a certain group. And then it turned off the original group that like turn-based. So this kind of branched it into a different direction. So you have a lot of the Final Fantasy purists that don't really resonate with it. So it didn't sell as well as expected. And plus it was isolated to the PlayStation platform. Now that it's been opened up to the PC fan base, the question stands, since Microsoft and Square renewed conversations, will this game eventually launch on the Xbox platform? I hope so. I hope the game does release on Xbox at some point in time. Hopefully we get an announcement tomorrow at Gamescom, because I had fully expected the game to be announced at the June showcase. So hopefully now we get a chance to get those announcements that I surmise from the tea leaves. Black Myth Wukong has some incredible streaming do's and don'ts. Definitely the feminist propaganda or discuss anything about China is off the table. If you plan on streaming this game, there's a list of do's and don'ts that includes some standard requirements that you get amongst, other pre-release codes, such as not insulting other streamers, offenses language or humor, to no nudity, feminist propaganda, fascism, and other contents that instigate negative discourse. All right? And do not, by any means, discuss COVID-19 or anything remotely close to painting China in a negative light. We will discuss. As the days close, we start to get more and more information on the reason why Black Myth Wukong isn't released on Xbox day and date. The Series X and S is delayed. They explained. It took Hogwarts Legacy a better part of a year to release on the Nintendo Switch after first drop, and it took Ghost of Tsushima 4 years to drop on PC. This has nothing to do with anything, to be honest with you. It shouldn't even be in the body of the piece. Is Black Myth Wukong coming to the Xbox, and why is delayed? This is according to the developers. The Xbox version currently doesn't meet their standards. No, from what I've heard, it didn't meet Xbox standards and it couldn't pass quality control. So, left up to them, it would have definitely came out. They're talking about maybe the game might release in December, which is a cool time period. Give it enough time to cook. But we're going to talk about this here because it's a lot of stuff around this game that I honestly am sick and tired of, all the stuff about it. It's strange. Okay, so we know that Black Myth is about to launch tomorrow, and that's that's a good thing. If you are a PlayStation owner, PC person, you will have the opportunity to play said game. Now, I watched Digital Foundry's breakdown on Black Myth and all the stuff that went into it and all the stuff that we can expect. My PC is able to game at the highest fidelity that they showed and beyond what they're capable of. So I have no problem in playing the game. But at the same time, with all that high quality cinematic stuff that they were talking about, it will actually make my PC probably run it at close to 65 frames per second. You have to understand that's insane given the rig that I have. And normally my game runs games at 180 frames per second, my PC. So that leads to a concern that you rightfully show the PlayStation fan base should have. How does it work on the PlayStation 5? I think once we get a chance to see how it works on the PlayStation 5, we could get a better indication on why it failed the Microsoft's quality control and to see where that lies. Because from all indications, The game failed the quality control internally over at Microsoft. Therefore, the delay. That's why that didn't happen. So, conspiracy theorists like myself, believing that PlayStation money had at the game, I have to rescind that cap, knowing what I know now. Yeah, it just didn't pass the internals. And in doing so, that game had to have a seat. So it allowed us to have a larger view and a peek in on hopefully that the PlayStation version is up to snuff. That's you got to take that with a grain of salt. But also the streaming guidelines. So if you plan on streaming this game, Game Science has some strict guidelines, some do's and don'ts, if you will, in what they are expecting from streamers. We do not live in the government of China. We do not follow their ideologies in their version of free speech. We are Westerners, and we take free speech and the right to assembly and discourse very high. I think this game treads on that fact on how we express ourselves. There are things in the guideline that I view as a dictatorship in its form. The level of censorship that they're willing to impose on streamers takes that game to a different conversation. A game should never take its political stances and impose that upon people that will put your game in a light that the world can see. Everybody has a diverse set of followers that follow them for their unique takes on things, opinions, and insights. By putting a barrier on any of those pillars in that streamer's creative process, delivery, and execution, hampers them and forces them to conform. On those principles alone, F you. On those principles alone, I will not stream that game. Because I feel freedom of speech, the right to assembly, the right to bear arms, those things were ingrained in me and in this Western culture that I won't sacrifice any of those things for a game. I believe you will lose more than you will gain on that stance that you took, Game Science. Silent Hill remake is set to release October 8th, 2024. Now, I played the original long ago. And when we got a chance to see Silent Hill, I clowned on it. I didn't like the showing, didn't really look good. And, shout out to Bloober Team. They know their way around a horror game. But I also remember the immersion in the story and the horror feeling around it. Trapped in a perpetual world of limbo where you have to revisit your inner demons and horrors. At that age, that psychological thought process that permeated the game that gave you an intellectual and visual stimulus in the horror genre changed how horror games was viewed through my lens of my mind. And I always felt that the Silent Hill franchise was did that well. Transported you in a place in your mind that if you had a phobia of certain things, proceeded to visualize that in game form. And there was the Undisputed Kings of it, but Silent Hill 2 in particularly did things in that genre that I felt that it was a masterclass. So to get a remake to it, to reintroduce this game to an audience that has no idea about the premise of what's going to happen in this game is a phenomenal piece that needs to be explored. So October 8th, a lot of people is going to have decisions to make. Is this a game that they're looking for? If this is your first time playing a game, if you're a horror, well, if you're the first time playing the franchise, if you're a horror enthusiast, if you're a psychological thriller enthusiast, if you have questions about things, and it goes into the psychosis of the individual that has locked away emotional trauma, this thing is a must purchase. It's fun to see the reactions to individuals playing this game for the first time. I can't wait to see people post gameplay, post video reactions, people doing walkthroughs that had never had a chance to play this game when it released before, but are getting the chance to do so now. I think this is one of the gems that we got in that bygone era that tried new things but did it well, and it hit. And this will resonate with that fan base, and hopefully a whole new fan base that will allow this type of game to be made by more developers without fear. So good on Bloober Team for doing this, and Konami for allowing them to the range to dig deeper into Silent Hill 2. Dead Cells takes a bow with its final major update, calling an end to 7 years of development that spanned 35 updates, 5 DLC, and 2 studios. Dead Cells: The End Is Near, version 35. Wow, it's been a long, long ride with this game. They just want to say thank you to everybody that purchased the game. Its original creators at Motion Twin and the people at Evil Empire, they did such a hell of a job. They have some of the biggest DLCs and some of the wildest crossovers. I gotta say, if you haven't experienced the game, I will tell you to go check it out. And it's really cool to see them last this long and given so much. Dead Cells. I got to give Lord Sovereign his flowers. He introduced me to Dead Cells, and I've been playing like Dead Cells ever since. That is probably one of my little guilty pleasures. I go back here and there. I have all the DLC in Dead Cells, which is 5. They've been updating this game for 7 years. 2 studios. That's a long time. That's an absolute long time in doing this thing, right? But they've given you a piece of their self, which I think the game is probably one of the most complete packages in a roguelike that I've seen. I think the game stands head and shoulders in the roguelike genre, if not top 1 to 3. It's there. It's a pillar. And congratulations on you during 7 years. It was highly successful. I can't wait for your next endeavor to maximize them 7 years, another 7 years. Kudos to bringing one of the best roguelike games that we've ever seen. And what can only be the most important game of IGN's existence, the game about them teaming up with Kong to save the world. Hashtag no PlayStation 6. You know how we do it over here. We're going to run it up on them bums. We finally found out why the media is always trying to save Kong. And I told you the whole world is a movie. And in the movies, it depicts real life. And it's strange that this game depicts what the movies and real life is trying to do. Kong working with the humans, IGN. Oh, we find out why. Now, I ain't gonna lie. The graphical fidelity on the joint is stimulating. I'm not gonna lie. The ability to call up Kong to help save out and them do things to help save Kong. This thing is a wet dream, pause, for the analogies that I bring up. Am I a futurist? Am I an individual that is placed here to lead and guide you because I know the way? Is my third eye completely open and we are witnessing the prophet? I don't know. I'm just joking. But I'm just saying, I found this game absolutely hilarious. When I saw the trailer, I said, yo, I'm going to have so much fun with this. And I call it the IGN Save PlayStation survival game. It is so dope. I can't wait to play this game. It's going to be fun. Xbox is trying to relicense Deadpool and Marvel Ultimate Alliance is being claimed. A new rumor claims that Xbox is trying to relicense Deadpool and Marvel Alliance. Activision released Deadpool game in 2013 for Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS3, PS4, but it was delisted in 2014 when the publisher's Marvel license expired. Similarly, Marvel Ultimate Alliance was also removed due to license expiration. Because of this, many players have never had a chance to play these games. Buying a physical copy is not always ideal as the prices can be high after games are removed from digital stores. Regardless, this is just a rumor. We have to wait for official announcements to be sure. Well, hopefully that stuff is true, and if it is, we'll be the first ones on the scene talking about it. Shout out to Nate the Hate. Deadpool, Marvel Alliance, Xbox is trying to relicense these games. Now, if you grew up back in the days and you played all the Marvel Alliance games, I think 1 and 2, supremely dope. Those games were fantastic. If you got a chance to play it on PlayStation or Xbox, they were really good, fun romps. I'm a Marvel dude, so I got a chance to play them, end them, have fun with them. And then the Deadpool game. But the Marvel Alliance stuff really, if they're able to reinitiate contracts with those games because they own ABK, that's a smart move, especially in the trajectory that we believe that Marvel is in now and going forward. If they can capture or recapture those that magic that they had with the Marvel universe, so if they can actually do that and facilitate that going forward, could you imagine what it is if they get on our IPs? Deadpool is at its highest right now. So with Deadpool being at its highest in popularity, this makes a lot of sense that you get on board and you get a remake or just a remaster of the first one. You put out all the other games, you put them at a higher fidelity or whatever, you know how Back Compat does. And then you can explore new options on newer titles with the Deadpool and so on. But I sat back and I thought and I imagined there's one game that was released for the Switch, Marvel Alliance 3, that is not available anyplace else but the Switch. Being that I know Nintendo's relationship with Microsoft and Microsoft affinity for all that is Nintendo, do they get the okay from Nintendo to release Marvel Alliance 3 on the Xbox platform? Outside of the Switch, you can't get it. So that would be huge if that's possible. If those three things come together, the Deadpool, the Marvel Alliance, and then the Marvel Alliance 3, I think Microsoft has a winning formula in locking down some, if not all, of the Marvel universe in one spot. You know what's crazy? These people put out pieces such as this, and this is pressing questions. Are you picking up Star Wars Outlaws on Xbox this month? With so many releases and so many different things that's coming up, and you have Game Pass. Has your gaming purchasing changed? Has it been dictated to by Game Pass, by looking at the outlook of what's available day one, or the fact that games quite possibly are too congested, good games, that you have to pick and choose your fights? Being that time is at a premium, what is your gaming options? And I had this question because a lot of the stuff that I've seen, it's crazy. Like the Ultimate Edition for this game is $129. You have to weigh that against so many different games coming out in such a tight window. It kind of makes it impossible. We really need to talk about gaming as a whole. Star Wars Outlaws. I don't know how to feel about this game because I've been hearing as much positive that I've heard about Star Wars Outlaws, I've heard negative about Star Wars Outlaws. And besides all the people that stand on that side with the whole woke, whatever mess that they got going on over there, I try to dig deeper into the gameplay aspect of the game and all that other stuff that goes along with it. Does it fit? Does it work? But it seems like Disney is going full steam ahead when it comes to this title. Like they go all out. Like the season pass is kind of crazy. They announced DLC way into the future with the storylines already talked about. I don't appreciate that. And I'm going to tell you how I feel about it. But the Ultimate Package costs $129. And my thing is, so you're selling me an incomplete game for complete money with the hopes of finishing the incomplete things. And we saw instances in the past, most recently with Redfall, where certain things wasn't achieved, and for compensation, I guess I forgot what they gave, but they didn't live up to the DLC promise for those people that brought the Ultimate Edition. We're living in an age of ship it and later we'll fix it. And I don't agree with that thought process, especially in this time where you're trying to balance and spread time in playing games. If you're a full-fledged responsible adult, your gaming time is finite, right? Because responsibilities take precedence over relaxation time, hobby time. Now, if you don't have those responsibilities, you balancing your gaming time between those games, and hopefully you do not have a game of service in your life, then your question starts to come down to what games give me the complete value for my purchase. Off the rip, if a game tells you immediately, and it's not a game of service, it's a single player game, but they have a season pass immediately, and we already give you our roadmap for DLC in the future, be wary and cautious. Okay? Because it's like, I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. Shout out to my guy Wimpy. Sunday you was bugging. It gives that type of energy. We'll double back with you when we get it together. And I don't know. Not on my list. I mean, with headlines like this, you can't ignore it, right? Indiana Jones won't be an Xbox exclusive for long, coming to PlayStation shortly after. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is supposed to be a big console game and coming out on Game Pass. Exclusive to Xbox this fall, but it won't be long until it comes to PlayStation 2. This stuff was brought to you by Nate the Hate. So if you got a problem, take that ish up with Nate the Hate at Xbox Era. I don't know, man. Every other day it's something new, something crazy, something that is probably pretty much non-existent before, but it's something that exists now. And, the basis of this whole thing is this. Indiana Jones, which was based on a license from Disney, was a major source of contention at the FTC trial. And with the regulatory office pointing to its exclusivities as proof of the dangers of the industry. Now, mind you, we're going to get into this whole thing about this trial and the Indiana Jones stuff. They also have a deal with Blade. That trial did more damage to the Bethesda ZeniMax deal that went through with no problem because of the ABK stuff. We got to talk about that having a direct effect on Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones, the Great Circle. What somebody super chatted yesterday? Indiana Jones, the Great Circle, Square, and Triangle. Yo, how do I feel about that? I feel that the FTC kind of muddled things up. See, when Microsoft purchased Bethesda ZeniMax, they were cool. Their plans for the console warrior was to lock stuff down, make it only available on that platform, and to try to beat Sony at their own game. The ABK deal fundamentally changed who Xbox was and what it means to the console fanboy. It forced the console fanboy to become a platform warrior. And what I mean by this is, with the introduction of Game Pass and the purchasing of so many IPs from the largest third-party developer in the world, you purchase a third-party developer to in turn turn yourself into a third-party developer. By proxy of purchase, you become that. ZeniMax was that in part, but that was due to necessity and survival as a third-party distributor. As a whole, ABK whole DNA is that. So like I said, by proxy, you become that. As a fanboy with your list wars, that was in jeopardy the moment the deal went through. So, if you champion the deal, don't cry about what's happening. You see, you can wish for things. And I've learned long enough in this lifetime, be careful what you wish for. You might just get it. And when getting it, we often look at the golden part of the fruit and not the core where the seeds and the pits lie. You have to remember, for every equal good, there's an equal bad. It's the yin and yang of life. So with all those games that Microsoft has acquired from the ABK deal, from ZeniMax. Now, this ABK deal affects the ZeniMax deal. Because with the ZeniMax deal, you had Indiana Jones, which Microsoft full wholeheartedly was making exclusive. ABK affects that thought process. Now, should we vilify Nate the Hate for reporting on things that he knows? No. Let him do what he will. I told you, there is an equal to everything. For every reaction, for every action, there's a reaction. So you deal with it. I'm saying, if you are a platform person and the game launches in Game Pass first, why do you care? Excuse me. Why do you care what happens after you have already partaken? Does it change your experience? Has your experience turned into something that is less than? I believe that your experience is still the same. But if you're a console warrior, this removes a quiver out of your bow. And it forces you to backtrack and change your stance on something you stood on. And another dumb move by Microsoft, I can only chalk this up as a bowl of stupidity stirred up and served to you hot, piping and steeping. It's yo. New Xbox console price unveiled. Fans are furious. I don't know what the hell you furious for, but the Galaxy Black Edition, which will be available later this year, all digital, Series X, 2 terabyte of SSD. Are y'all ready for the price? Because I'm ready for the price. The price is $600. It don't do a damn thing different. Bro, I'm going in. Oh, hell no, Xbox. Oh, hell no. Who the hell in their right mind said that I want to get that Moonlight, Skynet, whatever edition of the Xbox Series X all digital 2 terabit? You have to be brain dead, defunct of all critical thinking to believe that $600 is something that I would pay for just 2 terabit of memory. You have lost your mind. When I can get a Series X right now for the low price of $350 that I just did. I just went and got a Series X with a disk drive for $350 from Amazon during Amazon Day. And I got a 2 terabit SD card. So, hey King, how much did that cost you? Well, the 2 terabit was a gift, but at the moment it was going for $129. $129, plus 350, 450, 475. That's more terabits of space than that $600. You have lost your damn mind in thinking that is a thought process that we should have in purchasing going into this holiday season. Read the room, Xbox. Read the room, people at Microsoft. Amy Hood. I want to know who the hell in pricing said, let's price this for that. I want to know whose critical thinking thought that this was a great idea. Because you should never be in charge. In more internet news where the world is a little bit smaller, Bully for PlayStation 5 Series X and X versions are quietly teased. So Rockstar Games, it's been a while. Everybody's been checking out, waiting for Grand Theft Auto 6, but Rockstar Schoolyard Grand Theft Auto game Bully has been rated for Xbox Series X and X and PlayStation 5 and PC in Taiwan. Shout out to Taiwan for letting that slip. We're about to be it, baby. I'm talking about we up all the way up. Let's get it. Yo, Taiwan, good looking, bro. Definitely appreciate you. Hey, gave us a heads up. Series X and S. Bully? Yo, going back to playing Bully. I haven't played, I think Bully launched in like 2004, 2006, something like that. Damn, that's a long time ago, right? That was a time. That was a time ago. I was what is it? Like 17 years ago, something like that. That's kind of crazy. I thought Bully was just like a little fun thing that Rockstar did while they was testing stuff for the Grand Theft Auto. Like a lot of companies do. They test some stuff over there before they test it on the main franchises just to get a gauge on how public perception of that goes. So I believe that, Bully was a success. And we always heard about the remaster or the remake. I'm up for it, right? Let's do it. Bully 2025. Shout out to Taiwan for getting that over to us in the form of, these dudes are making it happen, and we got the inside scoop. Microsoft acquired Hellblade creator Ninja Theory for just $117 million. And I'm going to tell you why they are invaluable to Xbox, Microsoft, and the state of video games as we see it and know it. This company is well deserved of the high praise and work ethic that they continue to show behind the scenes and in the public. Microsoft acquired Hellblade, Ninja Theory for $117 million. And when they did that, what they purchased was an invaluable asset at the disposal. Now, I got some documents on Saturday, and I didn't get a chance to read through everything, but I got a chance to read through everything in its whole. And it was the financials and mission statement and all that stuff that goes on, every year that you get with every company and internals. And it showed that Ninja Theory made $23 million without having a game in the market, but the games that they were working on. And at that time of that reporting, Hellblade 2 was being finished up and ready to ship and stuff. And though Hellblade 2's recoup financials weren't present in the paperwork, what was glaring and astounding was the fact that they made $23 million internally from doing other projects inside Xbox and Microsoft that one can only surmise is up to their incredible level of fidelity that they were able to produce with motion capture, audio, and visual throughout the studio, and they probably built one of the best studios at Microsoft and Xbox in order to get their game to look and play the way that they've done. And that's invaluable when you have other studios at your disposal that needs those assets. So, from all indications, their level of value is in what they bring to the table in its totality, opposed to how much a game sold or how much a game is projected to sell. Their values lie in the minutia and intricacies of how they built their company. And I can only say, shout out to Nina Christensen and the team. You guys are doing a bang up job, and your financials showed in a year where you produce no games, you were still able to earn your keep. And that's important. Everyone must be able to earn their keep, especially when they're idle. Monster Hunter Wilds. It's kind of crazy because my friend Chris, right? He streams now too. And he introduced me to Monster Hunter. And it was so convoluted and how you hooked up and how you got together, and then you got into the world, and it was like semi-open world, but it wasn't. It just, I don't know. I didn't like the biome. I didn't like anything about Monster Hunter. It didn't appeal to me on any level. On any level. And I know that flies in the face of all the millions of people that enjoy the game, that love the game, that want to, play Monster Hunter, and that have been fans. That game has spanned many consoles, many generations, and Monster, I think, started as like a DS game or something like that. But now that we see that Monster Hunter has this real open world stuff going on, I'm talking about real open world stuff. I'm eagerly anticipating the reviews on the game. If it's true open world that I can actually, jump in and play. Is it something like Breath of the Wild type of open world where I can go anywhere, do anything, and just report back to camp, fight and do stuff? But I'm not gonna lie, the graphical intensity of this game, this is by far one of the most graphically appealing games that I've seen so far this generation. And that's what I truly expected from this gen, more graphically intensive games. So if you can craft that around an existing IP, the graphical fidelity, also sound plays a large part in control. But if you can craft that around the existing IP and expand upon the universe to gain more people, I believe that's a smart move. That's only a plus in my book. So I look forward to hearing and seeing more about Wilds and hopefully getting a chance to play it. Well, Gamescom is here, right? We've waited. We got the next big show. Shout out to everybody that's out there that's going to go see this stuff. I truly can't wait for your reporting on what's happening. Shout out to Kay Asante that's out there, Risk It for the Biscuit. Everybody else that made it to Germany for all this wonderful gaming news. PlayStation won't be available there. Nintendo will be there in some weird capacity in the background. But Xbox stand up. Xbox World Order stand up and celebrate the gaming culture, taking it to the next level, and Xbox leading the charge at one of the biggest gaming conventions this year. So we're going to get information. We're going to get news, be it good or be it bad. Stay focused and make sure if any of the predictions were right or wrong, leave a comment. Let me know what's going on. Well, this is the part in the video when I'm going to ask you to like, follow, and subscribe. And I'm going to let you know, if you liked anything in this video, please take my invitation to sub. And if you would like to take it any further, become a member. With members, we got perks. We got coins and stuff that we give away. We have Fight Night Fridays where there will be named a champion at the end of the night. And that champion will receive a coin, will receive $150 worth of free food. we play fighting games. It's, it's me, my son, and the community. And it's, when we talking on Discord, I'm trying to get the voice so your voice could be heard as well. So we could talk about all that's going on in the games while we fighting and having fun. So come on out. We have every game that's available. Everything is crossplay. Shout out to you PlayStation dudes. Remember, it's crossplay. Come over and play and have a good time. But I'm going to take that logo and I'm going to throw it around, I'm going to throw it around Gamescom because I'm super excited. Tomorrow, Attic and I will be going live, watching the show, reporting, good or bad. It's going to be a movie. But what I'll tell you, try to play the Game Pass.